Little Joy here, and welcome back to another video. In this video, as you can see in the thumbnail, I decided to draw two mushrooms as people. I mostly did this because I wanted to work more on character design and creating different face shapes and trying to bring out how a character would be from something inanimate. And I've seen quite a few people do these, or especially Lavender Town, will make non-human characters as people, or poisons as people. And honestly, I thought this would be a great idea to actually start and do that. So that's actually why I decided to go ahead and do this. So I did get this idea from Lavender Town, so please don't tell me I'm trying to copy Lavender Town. I mean, I guess I am, but I'm not at the same time. I'm not entirely sure if she's done a mushroom one yet or not, but I don't think she has, so I kind of got the idea from her. And honestly, it was a lot of fun to do. It was fun to create something that was, or create a person that from something that was inanimate. I think the first mushroom, I'm not entirely sure what it was called. I think it was a Laceria mushroom, and I've never heard of this kind of mushroom before, but it was a lot of fun, and it was a very pretty mushroom, so that's why I decided to choose it. For the second mushroom, I decided to do an inky cap mushroom, which I feel like is pretty generic to do, but I love an inky cap mushroom. They're so pretty. But you'll be seeing that one later. I also found this quick little trick for the eyes, where you put two different colors, two vibrant colors, and then put white in the middle of them, which helps bring more life into the eyes, which was a lot of fun to do. And for the line art, I did more of a sketchy line art for each of them, and I thought it turned out really good. And it honestly just worked really well for each of them. And it was just so much fun doing these. It was so much fun creating new characters and new character designs instead of just redrawing my same old characters. I would love to do a part 2 of this. If you would like a part 2, please let me know in the comments, and if you put down some other mushrooms, I would love to take your suggestions and go ahead and draw them. I feel like it would be a lot of fun. But yeah, honestly, it was so much fun also having a limited color palette, because a lot of times I put so much color into my characters, I just don't put enough. So it was nice to also have a limited color palette to bring it to a character. I think I used all of the colors from the mushroom except for the skin and the eyes. And honestly, it was great. It was so much fun to actually kind of challenge myself, which is not something that I do too often. And I know for the legs, I just tried to do kind of a ripped legging look for her. And it was a lot of fun to do. I never do that, and I also really don't draw a lot of full body, which is another reason why I wanted to do this challenge. I wanted to create full bodies of characters and work better. Hopefully in the next video I can do more eccentric posings, and it's not just one simple pose of just them standing. I would love to do more action poses. I have a sense of anatomy, but sometimes it's kind of hard to do, especially when a lot of your creativity is going towards your job, with my job at least, for graphic design. So sometimes I might get art block or not, and art block is sometimes kind of hard to get rid of, but honestly, I feel like this really helped me get out of my art block. It was so much, I can't get over how much fun this was to do. And I did and doing 2 drawings I feel like was a lot at one point, especially since I don't have that much time. But I mean, it all worked out in the end, so I'm not too mad. And for the shading, I decided to go with a green. Same with the highlights. I decided to go with a green. I feel like that really contrasts against the orange a little bit. And I used soft light for the shadowing, and then I'm not entirely sure which one I did for the highlighting. I'm pretty sure I went and did some, I think I just left it, or I put it in vivid light, and then I went over her all again, and I put kind of like a green over her, which was the end of that. And on to the next one. I tried to do an eccentric pose, but for some reason the anatomy that I was doing just wasn't going right. And in the end, I kind of just left her standing with kind of just like an arm out and an arm up, as you can see here. But I mean, either way, and I know for the sleeves, you're going to be seeing it a little bit later. I actually decided to add like the little droplets from the inky cap there. And honestly, I thought that was a great idea. I also gave her a necklace as well, with also kind of like the drops of an inky cap as well. And I know for her face, it's just a little bit skinnier. I tried to give her more of a rigid nose than normal. But I mean, in the end, I feel like it looks really good. And I'm honestly not the greatest at making like darker skin tones, so I also wanted to try that. If you have any pointers on how to make darker skin tones, please let me know. I would absolutely love to work more and make darker skin toned characters. And as you can see here, I'm kind of like coloring and everything, like I said. It looks a lot brighter with the gray background. And I did give her blue eyes, and I did the same thing, except it was like a red and a green. And I gave her blue lipstick, because the inky cap does kind of have like a blue texture to it. And I gave her kind of like a black blue hair color as well, which I feel like worked really well. And I tried not to do like straight white for her clothing. So I think I found the color on the mushroom itself, and it was kind of like a beige color, which came out really nice. I feel like it also pops her out with her skin tone. And I know here, or maybe a little bit after from what I'm saying, is I actually decided to do a gradient like how it is in the inky cap, which I feel like turned out absolutely great. And then after kind of like doing the gradient, I kind of went through and tried to make like tiny little, like the ridges, how it is on the inky cap, which I didn't do it all the way down. I didn't want to push everything away or make everything too confusing. And for her shading, I did a dark blue as well. She's mostly a blue themed lady, but it's a very dark blue, almost like a black. But if I did any other color, I feel like it would have been way too light, at least with like some of the darker backgrounds. But I think it turned out fine. I kind of wish that it wasn't so dark, but I mean, what can you do, you know? And I know for the highlights, I also went in with a light blue as well, which turned out really well. It was very pretty, and honestly, I don't think I would have changed the highlights at all, but it was just really fun to do, and honestly, this was just so much fun. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye!